Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in today's video we are going to talk about the tower with a lot of power, because this thing is specially made for video game emulation. It's the A95X Max Plus, and it already says here on the box video game box. Comes with a lot of great peripherals, so stick around, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell, and let's do a little bit of an unboxing. So the presentation of this product is pretty nice. It comes in this very nice high quality cardboard box. Don't know what you need to do with this. Here we have the power of tower. Man, this thing is quite heavy. Looks really nice, but we're going to take a close look at it later. First, what comes with this device? It comes with the Wii remote, or the clone Wii remote, a normal remote. Here we have the power supply. And here we have something very interesting, because it also comes with a controller. Let's take a close look at the controller, because this is very interesting and the first box that I ever got so many peripherals. I have seen this controller before, for the Nintendo Switch if I recall it correctly. But nevertheless, this is just a basic mold. Looks very nice. Looks a little bit like a PlayStation controller. There is only one downside. Normally you can swatch out the D-pad, but I only got this version. But it feels quite nice and it feels like a very good quality controller. With the controller itself, as you can see, we need to connect it through the Bluetooth. So when I'm done this, we can use the controller with the Bluetooth. And this is something that I think is really cool with this kit. You have basically everything that you're going to need. Okay, so let's take a close look at the remote that comes with it. Here we have the Wii remote. That is basically a really good clone with all the features of the original remote. I'm guessing this is the product we're going to use, maybe in the menu. Alright, so internet is connected, and what you can see is updating the interface and downloading all of the games. Alright. So this movement works. Alright, let's see, can I work like this? Oh, okay, this is how it works. So you work with the D-pad. You slice him like this. Okay, that's a very fun thing. So I rather had an analog stick, to be honest, but okay, it works. Do we have different movements, or? Ah, cool, I can do a super move. Alright, come on, bring it on. So basically I can only do one move. Yeehaw! Rodeo style! But you can use it like an air remote, that works just fine. Just press a button and you can navigate. So that works like a charm, and the games are included on the device, works fine. It's not like the real Wii, but it's a fun experience. The tower design, I personally really love it. But there's a little bit of a problem, because most boxes are very tiny and you can basically put them beneath your television or every position you want to. But this is a little bit limited because of the design of the casing itself. Here at the front we are having the receiver for the remote, and it even includes 4 USB connections. We're having a TF slot at the front, and we're having here the on and off switch. It seems to be all the USB connections have been moved to the front, and we're having here a jack out, we're having digital out, HDMI, an Ethernet connection, and of course the input for your power adapter. Okay, so if you take a close look at the power supply, this is a 12 volt 2500 milliamp. So if you're having a problem or you need to get a new one, this is not going to be a big of an issue. Well, let's talk about the casing itself. I really love the design, but that's something that is more like a personal thing. It's made of metal, so it feels also quite heavy. You can remove the little feet, and the reason why is very simple, and that is also why it has a tower design. As you can see over here, you can put in a 2.5 inch hard disk or SSD for extending the internal memory. Nevertheless, let's open it up. Let's see what kind of design this thing has more, because I'm very curious how it's looking inside. Okay, so let's take a close look at the shell itself. We can move it like this, and then we're having the outer shell and of course all the components. This is what we're going to get, and as you can see, we can reach everything very easily. Here we have, I'm guessing here's the chip. They're putting a little cooling pad on it. It's a little bit strange, there is no ventilator or something in it, so just passive cooling. Okay, so I have put batteries in everything, and the first thing that I'm noticing, this thing doesn't work with a dongle. With most TV boxes you're going to need a dongle, this thing doesn't need one. But with the Wii remote you need a separate dongle. So that's what we're going to do. The first port is going to get used by this. So let's see. And as you can see, I already mentioned that this is going to be more like an air remote. The menu itself looks pretty nice. To be honest, I prefer this over the one with the Nvidia Shield, but it's more like a personal thing, of course. Here we have all the programs that are already installed. For example, we're having some action games. That is especially for this controller. But first, let's check AIDA64 and let's see what we're going to get. So it's indeed a 4GB installed RAM model that has 64 internal gigabytes of storage. Let's go to the CPU. So as you can see, here are the CPUs, an ARM Cortex A53 and the ARM Cortex A73. Alright, let's see, we're having CPU cores, 6 of them, clocked on 800 MHz. And let's go to the display, and here we can see we have a GPU and Mali G52. This has 2 GPU cores. And it's an Android 9 Pie, and yes, it's a rooted device, and sadly this means we can't use Netflix on the full HD or 4K resolutions. We can't watch Netflix on very high resolutions, but I can tell you, if you're going to watch on 4K on YouTube, it is very nice and it works without any hassle. So here in side by side with the benchmarks, and you can already see that the A95X Max Plus is a very powerful box. It's a power tower, but nevertheless the Nvidia Shield Pro can't be beaten. It's a little bit more expensive, of course, but you pay more, but you get a way better result with the Nvidia Shield Pro. So the king is still not defeated. Alright, so we're beginning with the PSP emulation. We're going to leave all the settings like it is, and I'm going to do the same with all the other programs. Not going to downscale any, so you can see what is the performance. And of course we're going to include an FPS counter, so we can see how many FPS we're going to get.
Get ready for the next battle.
So far so good, 58 FPS. Dipping to 37, goes up to 60. So what you can see that it's dipping a little bit sometimes. Stable FPS, works like a charm. But you can see it doesn't run on a 60 FPS stable. It dipped slightly to the 55. The sound is a little bit off. Alright, so let's try an Android game. And as you can see, this thing looks beautiful. It runs very smooth. Okay, so this is what we're going to get with this Tower of Power. I must say, a bit sad. The reason why I call this is just simply because it's a quite powerful Android box. It's not cheap. So the controller, I must say I'm not a big fan of it. Connecting it was one big nightmare and was not... I did show it in the video, but at the end it was not working like a charm. I just used an Xbox 360 controller for basically playing every single game. Here we have the remote. It's a very funny air remote, works very well. The only thing that I haven't complained about it, when you're pressing the D-pad, for example, you just need to go into the menu very quickly. Every time you need to press this little mouse button because you need to switch between the air remote and the D-pad. Very annoying, not very convenient. The box itself, I really love the design. It's getting really hot after some time, so this thing is... I would personally upgrade it with a little fan beneath, that is possible. It's got a lot of different connections, USB 2, USB 3, a lot of great things going on with this device. I like it, the performance are not bad, but the only thing, it's not very cheap. So this is what you're going to get. If you have any questions, you can always leave it in the comment. Consider subscribing, supporting this channel, give this video a like up and hit that little bell. And that means we'll see you in the next video.